Hello, my name is Kirioth, and today we are going to take a look at all the stuff that was revealed at LVO 2022. You know what, let's just go straight in, because I think there's going to be a fair few things to take a glance at here, although there is one specific reveal that we do need to have a little chat about, because there's some disappointment surrounding it. And you know what, I can kind of see why, but we will get there eventually. Let's have a look at the new Aeldari stuff. First, we did see yesterday the new avatar of Cain, which is fantastic. Great looking model, pretty big, 30 and a bit skulls tall, I measured, by putting it in Photoshop. Copy-pasting the skull at the bottom all the way up to the top of the plume, just to see. Terrible unit of measurement. Don't measure in skulls, because that means you don't have to measure a skull and hope that it's the same size skull to know exactly how tall it is. But you know what? We know. Like 30 skulls, give or take. Ridiculous. It's a good model. I did hope that there were more options, and there were leaks for more options, and now we can see them properly in full resolution, fidelity. All the pixels are there instead of only half of them. It's nice. The fact that we've got the spear option is excellent. I really like that head with the big crest coming out the back. That's kind of cool. Again, I'm not a fan of the white face, but then again, that's just a paint thing. And I have to admit, a lot of people are like, yeah, I really like that. I can see why. Just not my thing. But the spear looks great. That is a great version of the weapon. I like all the runes in the haft of the spear. That looks awesome. I think I might like that kind of crest a bit more than the other one. I think I might like that a little bit more. It's really chunky. It's really thick. I don't know. There's just something about it that's kind of, yeah. I think I like it more than the other. Although I can't really tell you why, because they both look fine. So I don't know why that specifically is tickling my fancy. But there you go. We also have the axe option, which is a thing, which is okay. I kind of like it. I think it's alright. I think it's not too bad. I kind of feel like I would like it to be bigger. Just a bigger axe, I think, would be nice. I don't know specifically why I feel like it seems a little, like, smaller in scale than the sword. Like, the spear you would expect to be, you know, pretty chunky. And it is pretty chunky. It's like, it's a massive spear. But for some reason, the axe feels kind of undersized compared to the other two weapons, although I like the design of it. The design of it is nice. It's quite heavily stylized, obviously, but yeah, I do like it. I just wish it was that little, maybe like 20% bigger. And I really like that particular face as well. That's a cool face. That looks awesome. All the like cracks across the eyes, the spirit stone set in the forehead. That's great. The teeth are a bit gnarly, but then again. Yeah, I like that a lot. That it's a bare head. It's a bare head. It might be up there. It might be up there as the favourite, actually, which is rare for me. Rare. A rare occurrence preferring the bare head. I like those options, but the important thing is not necessarily the extra options for the avatar. It's it's the arrival of Phoenix Lord Morgan Ra, who looks edgy AF. I don't know. Oh man, I think I really like it. It is very emo. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to call it. It's super edgy. You've got the tattered, torn cloak with all the holes in it. He's got now a hood. Didn't have a hood before. He's got a hood with like long cowl bits down the front. The gun is still hilariously oversized, and the fact it's got the scythe blade on the end it's still brilliant. I still love it. I mean, don't get me wrong. It sounds like I'm ragging on it. I actually really like this. I really, really like this. Whether you need the extra stuff, like the extra tears and holes and the hood, and whether that's necessary or not, I don't really know. But I just really like it, and I take the piss out of the gun. The gun's quality. I really just love how massively oversized that weapon is. The update as well with the the bone column, like the banner coming out of the back. It's made out of a spinal cord and some ribs. I like the update of that. That looks cool. Also, the fact that they're keeping like the traditional plume that Eldar do tend to love on their important people is still present on this model. It's just on a skull on top of a spinal cord instead of being on top of the actual character's head. got to maintain it. You got to maintain the theme, which they have done. But yeah, I don't know. I really like that. It looks like he's got the skull shoulder pad on the one side and then the kind of stylized one on the other. Yeah, it looks pretty. Again, it's a mostly faithful, I think, upgrade from the old one. But they've really dialed up the edge, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. And he's not technically standing on a rock either. He's standing on scenery. That's carved. That's masonry. Standing on masonry different to standing on a rock. All right, I think we need to be clear. Different things. So yeah, there's that big spinal column banner. The bone on the back looks great. Yeah, so he's got like a normal-ish, sort of, kind of, skull on one side. It's not really normal, it's like stylized, but still. And then the other one's got the big grin on the other side. I do like that. Yeah, I'm a fan. I like that. I like that update. I like that update a lot. Very over the top. Very over the top. But in fairness, this is a model where I think you can get away with it, because the current one is very over the top. So, it's not like they're straying wildly off reservation for this. They're kind of just doing what was just updating what was already there, because it already looked a bit mad and a bit edgy. So there's also shining spears as well, which are super white, super white. I hate painting white, and looking at these, it's just like, oh my god, just so much hassle. Very nicely done though. Very nicely done. I mean, they are updated jet bikes with updated Eldar on top of them, and they've stuck with everything that was there before. Everything's just crisper and cleaner, and I mean, god damn, do they look clean? They look absurdly clean. These do, because of the paint scheme. I think especially, it's just so crisp. Everything about them is like ultra crisp. They look nice though. I do like them. So yeah, we've got a few different weapons. You've got the lance, you've got a sword. I do like the contrast they've used with the blue and gold on the helmets. I don't know, I really like that. That's a really cool scheme. Yeah. Again, they look decent. They're just doing, I think, what everyone wanted still, which is just taking the thing and making it nicer, and that's pretty much all they're doing. Which, I mean, hey, if it works, because there's nothing wrong with most of the Eldar stuff. There's nothing wrong with the design, it's just the age. And they're fixing that. That's a good group shot as well, with all the new stuff in it. Well, I say all the new stuff, there is some older stuff in, although the aircraft will never age. I swear to God, those things, in 10 years, they will still look great. But yeah, that's a nice group shot there. Oh, it looks nice. It looks like an Eldar army, but it's all so crisp. So not like, there aren't too many weird edges where things should be sharp and flat, but instead are a little bit lumpy or not quite up to standard. It's just way better. And I do like the fact that we do have that new avatar in there, so we can get a good sense of the scale. He's a chunky lad. He's got some size to him. He's way bigger than the old one. He looks as well to be bigger than the Forge World one. I reckon maybe a head taller than the Forge World one. And the Forge World one already towered above the Guardians. He's definitely getting up there to the size that he, I feel like, should be. And they say there's one more Aeldari surprise, and that surprise is Corsairs. We have Corsairs. So they're going to show up in Kill Team's next expansion. I don't know who they're fighting. All I know is that, oh man, this looks great. So these are the Void Scarred. It's even got a bird. It just looks like a space pirate. And that's, what more do you want? What more do you want from Corsairs? I think that looks grand. I think that really does. Also, there is enough of a lack of high-tech stuff going on that you could totally mess with these for a fantasy setting. The armor just looks like armor. It feels very setting agnostic in a way. The kit bash potential for using this in pretty much anything is kind of all the way up there. It is good though. I do like the bird. The bird's solid. Do we have any? No, we don't. Oh, come on. Give us some closer details. Give us some closer details. So it's the Void's Guard kill team. That's it, I think. That's it, yeah. Oh, man. Come on. I mean, they'll show us more, obviously. There'll be like an article, probably. What do you reckon? Do you reckon Path to the Preview? Do you reckon Path of the Preview? I've forgotten what it's called. That's bad. The one that shows up on the Monday. Do you reckon we'll get the rest of these then? Or do you think they'll expand on... Well, no, we've already seen all the Shining Spear stuff. We've seen New Phoenix Lord. I wonder if we might not see the rest of these on Monday as like a kind of mixed thing. Because if these are in the Codex as well, then, I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? Oh, they do look good, though. I want to see the rest. All right. Yeah, they're just not giving us any more information about it. Cheeky. Absolutely cheeky. But that's a good model. I like the half mask and the eye patch that's fitted into it. Oh, good work. Good work on the Corsair there. Now, in terms of Age of Sigmar, we've got some Nighthawns and some Daughters of Cain. The Nighthaunt model looks mental, right? You can just see him in like in the front of that picture. It just looks crazy. So it's Vayan of the Withered Quill, one of the Scriptors Mortis, the ghostly record keepers who track the rise of Nagash's domain. And what the hell is this? Yeah, you can condemn heroes who stand against the god of undeath to especially horrible underworlds, dooming them to suffer massive damage every turn. This guy is... What an absolute freak. What a freak. Just so weird, like, just massively unnatural. Even for Nighthaunt, and Nighthaunt are quite good at the kind of unnatural horrors thing. But this guy's like, he's right up there in terms of just being creepy and weird and what the hell is going on with him. So he's got like the kind of tendrils of like the ghostly aspects of the Nighthaunt, but there's definite like flesh and bone structure at the top. Like you can see his ribs and you can see his like his shoulder blades, but at the same time he's got like a big candlestick dug into his spine. Like, what the hell? The lantern being held up is really odd. I mean, like, is he... it looks like the plinth that he's on floats. So it's got, like, a central column made of bone with, like, some sort of horrendous expanded ribcage thing holding the book, but that is hovering off the ground with a bunch of spirit stuff holding candles around. It's so weird. Like... Even by the standards of Nighthaunt, it feels like Nighthaunt are just getting increasingly weird. There's been a couple of characters recently that have just been like way out of left field. Just looking at them going, who the hell came up with this? I mean, this is something that I would come up with, and I just don't know if that's a good quality or not. I mean, I really like it, but it's very odd. It's very, very odd. Maybe that's why I like it so much, let's be honest. But still, what a freak. What an absolute freak. So we also have the Craven Throne Guard, which is interesting. So we've got crossbow lads. Crossboos, if you will. Crossbow lads with... I always think of them as like town guard helmets. I don't know why. I don't know what the technical name for them is. But... Every model I use in D&D for Town Guard have got helmets similar to this. I think these look okay. I think they look alright. The banner's cool. That's nice. It's just compared to what we saw a moment ago. They're fine. They're just a little bit plain. But there's nothing wrong with them. Very traditional Nighthaunt, really. Got your big cloaks, descending into weird smoke. Kind of pale, fleshy arms and skull faces. It's pretty standard fare for Nighthaunt, but standard fare for Nighthaunt is... It doesn't feel like as spooky when you've just come off that. Just the absolute freak of nature that is that. But yeah, they look alright. They look okay. I think finally for AOS, we've got a new Daughter of Cain. So we've got High Gladiatrix? Yeah, High Gladiatrix Yelena, an arena fighter famed across her city. a living conduit of Marathi Kane's wrath. Apparently she rides a wave of murderous fervour. I mean, that sounds pretty pretty standard for that, doesn't it? Pretty good model. Yeah, that's alright. I actually prefer the bare head again. I think the bare head looks good. The whip is cool. I quite like the pose they've gone for as well. That's kind of cool. But the armour looks good. They're horrendous. Like, the blades on the Daughters of Cain armies are always nasty. So it's nice to see that repeated. Does that as a weapon option as well. Got that double-ended glaive or the dagger, which is cool. The whip is pretty solid. Yeah, I like the way it winds down. That's cool. Yeah, overall, that's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. So that's part of a new box, right? So Arena of Shades. Yeah, so got the new character in there, got the new unit. Now, the last model reveal that we've got, I believe it's the last model reveal, is this one, which is Kobanda. I pronounce it totally wrong, I'm sure. I don't think I've ever heard it pronounced out loud. Basically, giant demon. Massive demon. So, of all the demons Khorne has at his command, few inspires such terror and awe as Kobanda, mortal foe of the Blood Angels and general of the Blood Gods' army, a bloodthirster of terrible renown. He stands taller than the greatest of mortal heroes and can sweep away entire detachments with his monstrous axe. So, yeah, they're not joking. He is absolutely colossal. Like, that is a absurdly big model. When you consider the size of the Space Marine on the base, and the fact that that bit of, like, ruined stuff next to it, that's a Leviathan Dreadnought, right? The girth, the absolute girth of this lad is unreal. This is a huge model. I'm pretty sure in the books it talks about how, like, with a single crack of his whip, he could kill 1,000 Blood Angels or something insane like that. So, really, it does kind of make sense that he would be massively oversized. And I'll be honest, I really like the model. I think the model's fantastic. It's going to be horrifically expensive. There's no doubt about it. Like, this is going to be hundreds upon hundreds of pounds. My initial estimation, given the size of it, and like if we just, yeah, I mean that's a Leviathan Dreadnought that he's standing on, or at least it's kind of buried in that big mound of stuff. I mean, what this has got to be. I'm gonna put a tentative price tag of £300 on this. I'm going to put a tentative price tag of 300. I would be surprised. I would be very surprised if it's less than that, genuinely. When you consider that a fully kitted out Leviathan is, what, 60, 70 quid? I feel like this has got to be up there. It is a good looking model, though. It is a good looking model. The main thing for me, I mean, God, there's so much detail. The texture on the skin is fantastic. The texture on the skin is really, really nice. All the kind of like indentations on like the brass sections of the armor is really good. The cloth wrap, like the leather wrap on the weapon handles, looks really nice. It looks like he's actually got a chain axe as well, which is crazy and awesome. This is good. This is really, really nice. Just as models go, it's really nice. My question though is, how do I put this right? The main complaint I see from Horus Heresy players, and I say complaint, I think it's warranted, is that it feels like there's an unreliable release schedule and there's way less communication than we get for like 40k and Age of Sigmar, even though they list Horus Heresy as being, one of the big three when it comes to their properties. There's been issues with books being out of print, with rules being spread across different things and being difficult to collate together. Actually getting into the game in the first place is really difficult because there's no starter set of any kind. And all of those problems, I feel like, seem to just compound and nothing really gets solved. Nothing actually changes. There's legions that still don't have specific praetors or have no characters, despite the fact they have characters in the books, whereas other legions have got multiple characters, or like they've got multiple characters but no praetors, or they've got praetors but no characters, or some of them have got like a bunch of special units and others don't. It's a system where there is, even by Games Workshop standards, it feels like an extreme lack of parity between a lot of the playable factions within it. And whilst this model is fantastic, and I'm not going to say that it's a bad model, because that's, I think, objectively untrue. Like, as gigantic, colossal bloodthirsters go, or like bloodthirster-style demons or whatever, this is really good. The pose is great. The weapons look amazing. The wings are really nicely done. They also actually look like they could maybe even lift him off the ground, which is nice. Like, overall, this is solid. Is this in any way actually helpful for the Horus Heresy as a whole? Like, as a system, as a game? Is this something that, like, lots of people are going to get something out of? Is this something that's going to improve a specific faction that has remained completely unloved? I mean, I guess maybe, like Demons of the Ruinstorm, maybe? It feels like they don't have a huge amount going on. I mean, their range is, like 3 models or something? I don't know. It's a weird one, because I really like the model. I think it looks fantastic. It's also going to be hellish expensive, but it's like a centerpiece. This is amazing. As something that will improve the game, is this actually going to do that at all? Like, it doesn't feel like it does anything for any of the issues that it feels like Horus Heresy seems to have, you know? So it's kind of like, great model, but, and the but is quite a big but in this situation. But I don't know. Maybe that's not fair of me. I don't know. I really like it, but I have to admit, I was expecting like the box reveal or something. Not that it's a problem that wasn't revealed. I wasn't massively invested. I don't feel like personally betrayed or anything. But it feels like there's so much disparity within that game, and I don't know that this helps with any of that. But then again, does a model need to help with any of that? Can you not just release a big centerpiece for the fun of it? I would argue yes, you can. But do you also need to try and make sure that other issues are addressed at the same time, maybe, so that people don't feel that there's an issue? There are big questions to which I do not have the answer, frankly. Anyway, we're going to finish off with something that I'm actually really quite excited about. Vehicular mayhem awaits in Necromunda Ash Wastes. Yeah, that's the whole thing. There's a trailer, which I'm not going to play because it will most likely get claimed. I know other people manage to get away with it, but 9 times out of 10, it's not even like Games Workshop that claims them for me. There's like a group of really crap, like fake companies, basically, that keep claiming anything that involves trailers for me, which is extremely frustrating, but there you go. So great are the distances between hives that even the most athletic gang won't get far on foot. So what vehicles can be scraped together will serve your gang as well in the trials to come. Sign me up. Sign me up right now. I mean, if we're talking vehicles, if we're talking being able to kit bash vehicles, I'm in. 100% in. Let's go. I mean, I'm not surprised that this is a thing. Like, Gaslands is doing pretty well, and they can just ram vehicle combat into their own systems. I mean, we already had that Orc box a while back, but I'm in for this 100%. I want to see what this is, and I really want to see what they do, like model wise and stuff, or whether they just provide rules and you can go out and buy Orc kits and other kits and slam them together. That seems very unlikely, but it would be kind of fun if there was some official support for that. Anyway, is there anything in there that particularly tickled your fancy? Anything that stood out as being exactly what you wanted, or anything that you thought was exceptionally good at this particular preview? Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, the little chat we had about the Horus Heresy and stuff. I mean, let me know what you think. Were you disappointed to see something that big and kind of niche, or were you just like, okay, well, this is a great looking model, so I'm happy? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, Patreon, video, subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click if you don't want to. And as always, there's an affiliate link in the description for Element Games, which you can use to support the channel if you'd like. I will leave it in your capable hands. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.